This place is simply incredible. I actually wasn't going to vlog here on Harris for the simple reason that I think I need every single piece of concentration to even get slightly closer to capturing some kind of the essence here. And apologies in advance, this vlog is not going to be filled full of epic B-roll because I really can't take my mind off of being here. I remember that first time seeing images from Harris and thinking, what kind of plugin is this person using to get that kind of mood? Well, I've been here a week. I've barely got the big camera out. Been mostly sketching with the iPhone. Within 24 hours I knew that I'd be back here again, and hopefully again and again, because this place needs time and lots of it. I'm simply overwhelmed by the place. It's incredible. Welcome to Harris. Thing Harris does do, it completely levels you. You just can't come here and set up and take a shot and go home and be happy. You just can't. As I said, this place takes time, so much time. One of the fantastic things that quite often happens on islands as well is the weather moves through. We seem to be getting a little bit lucky in this occasion where a lot of the weather is moving through the distant hills. I can't say I'll be lucky forever. I have got rather wet on this trip already a number of times. You can probably tell I'm speechless, and I say I've been here a week. I've been doing lots of walking, say lots of play with the iPhone. There's just something about the place. I'm not afraid to admit that a week ago when I first walked down here, I shed a tear or two. Combination of reasons for that, but yeah, anyway. So while the weather has moved through a little bit, we don't really have any light going on the far hills. I'm just kind of working again on a couple of different playful compositions. As I say, I'm not under any illusions. Nothing I think that I'll make on this trip will be not worth keeping, but it won't be the final product. This is going to be a long-term thing. And if I can come away with maybe 10 images over the next 3 to 4 years here, I'll be happy. So this is the starting point. So I'm just playing a little bit. I love all these sort of crisscrosses in the rocks. And as I say, just trying to get something with that weather moving through. And while the weather has now cleared and there's no light on those hills, I'll maybe look for another composition. Absolutely beautiful. So one of those scenarios where what the eye sees is not necessarily nice for what the camera sees. There's an obvious kind of classic lead-in line and lovely curves and lovely patterns in there, and of course you've got Tarnsay across the way. But the beach in the mid-ground is just very messy. It was very windy last night. There's a lot of kind of seaweed left, and actually quite a few footprints in various bits and pieces. So when I look through the viewfinder, it just looks a bit too messy. So rather than trying to work that scene, I just love that. And certainly there's an influence from people like Bruce Percy here, one of my all-time favourite photographers. And I think what I'm sort of drawn towards is that simplification. And this scene here is certainly not simple, but too messy. So we'll look for something else. Goodness me. Apologies for the lack of footage out on the sandbar. That's blowing an absolute hooey out there. It's not just the conditions, but it's the wide open space. The noise of the wind in your ears, the softness of the sand, thinking, I wonder, am I going to sink here? There's just so many different emotions going through your head, and you're also sort of trying to work on a composition, while of course on with the rain cover, off with the rain cover, wipe away the drops of water, brace for the wind, brace for the gusts. I think exhilarating, frustrating, exciting, tiring. And that's only been a few hours this morning. Incredible. But that means coffee time. Oh my goodness me. It's just, I'm not ready for this place. I think I've made peace with that. Don't get me wrong, I am so happy I've come. And I cannot wait to come back. But right at this moment, and I think I started the vlog off this week with talking about this, it's just too overwhelming. It's even difficult to articulate. It's just so vast, empty, and in the same way busy, because you're looking for that essence, that emptiness, and actually when you really study the frame, it is quite busy. Yeah, there's not going to be a huge amount of outside footage from this vlog, that's for sure. I think, again, I said this before, if not, just to reiterate, this place needs my undivided attention, and I'm sorry, but that means that a lot of the time I can't be vlogging. And also the environment, it's pretty much, since we've got on the island, it's blowing on an average 35 to 40 mile an hour, and when it hasn't been blowing 35 to 40 mile an hour, it's been raining horizontal. And when it hasn't been raining horizontal or blowing 35 to 40 mile an hour, it's been 3 o'clock in the morning. What a place though, what a place. I was out this morning with the XT1 and the 10 to 24, and I came across one particular scene where there was a sort of a little inlet, and again it was, yes, obviously the composition, really working on the composition, but it was those tones, really dark water, the beach and the dark mountain and those sort of foreboding clouds. What I wanted was to create a little bit of movement in the clouds with an ND filter, but it just was too windy, and so probably the images that I got with the ND filter on, they're just going to be soft. But again, I have made complete 100% peace with the fact that this is not the trip for me to be making my final images with, not even close. This is a visit to the Isle of Harris, and in fact to the whole of the, well, to part of the Outer Hebrides, Harris Lewis. We didn't get down to Uist. This is a trip for me here on Harris, just to experience it, just to try to let a little bit of it in. It's incredible. It's incredible. Afternoon, guys. So thus ends the Harris photography experience for now. As I said at the beginning of the video, apologies that there wasn't a lot of outdoor time with the camera, showing you guys around, but a combination of reasons. One, the weather was pretty crazy, as I thought it would be, but secondly, and more importantly, I needed all of my kind of concentration just to really soak up Harris. It has been an island that has left me yearning for more, much more. It's an island that you need a lot of time on to really start to get into the sense of the place. I think just in the last day or so I've started to scratch the surface. The main camera barely came out of the bag. A lot of sketching around with the iPhone. But it's just fantastic. Don't get me wrong, I love traveling and I love this lifestyle in the van. But for the first time in a very long time, I've found somewhere that I think I could be happy just to be for an extended period of time. We're already making plans to come back here, probably in the spring of next year, and spend a lot longer. It's a phenomenal place to come as a photographer. I honestly never thought that there could be light and conditions like it, and unfortunately I wasn't in the right place to capture it on camera. But seeing it with my own eyes just made me realise the potential that this place has. And I, for one, cannot wait until I'm back. Now, of course, my camera kit is going to need some significant TLC, because I think there's sand blast and sand particles everywhere. So that should be fun. But yeah, just absolutely beautiful. And coming from Skye, which of course has got so many iconic locations, as I said in last week's video, that while they may be iconic locations and beautiful scenery and beautiful landscapes, I really struggle to connect with. Here on Harris, even though I didn't make many images, I still felt a deep connection to the place. And those are the sorts of images that I really want to work on. So I'll just leave you with a very small selection of some images that I did put together here for these last 10-12 days. As I say, mostly they've been on the iPhone, and mostly, if not all of them, are works in progress, because this place needs a lot more time. Catch up next week. Bye bye.